Shall we pray? Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and a faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interest you've committed to our charge. Amen. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable members, there is a petition by Nakuru Disabled Persons Caucus, courtesy of Tegemeo Disabled Persons Self-Help Group, seeking the intervention of the County Assembly regarding the missing body of a 7-month-old baby, Chepngeno, from PGH Level 5 Hospital. This petition is committed to the Committee on Health for action and subsequent presentation of a report to this Honorable House. And it needs to be noted that this is, we are not able as a house to keep on waiting. So I have seen in the past chairs going beyond the stipulated time for reporting back this assembly. So now this one, it has to comply with our standing orders and our provisions for the, in as far as petitions are concerned. Chair, Health.
Well guided, Mr. Speaker, and we also note, and we are going to adhere to the time frames that you are going actually to give us, so that when we be resuming back from the short recess, we'll be having that report ready.
Thank you, Chair. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
There is a paper, the first paper that is the report of Committee on Budget and Appropriations on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2025.
Honorable Speaker, I am Digol Naburuki, MCS Oinward, on behalf of the Chair, Budget and Appropriation, lay a report on the Committee on Appropriation of the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2025.
Thank you. The County Fiscal Strategy Paper report is laid. What is it? The Honourable Member for Viwandani.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I'm raising on a point of order, Mr. Speaker, on the same paper that has been laid. And I'm raising on our standing order number 209. Honourable Speaker, we are all and well guided that upon presentation of this fiscal strategy paper, that order number 209, subsection 3, that upon being read before the Assembly, the county fiscal strategy paper shall be deemed to have been committed to each sectoral committee without question put. Honourable Speaker, to each committee, for each such committee to deliberate upon according to their respective mandate and make recommendation to the Budget and Appropriation Committee. Honourable Speaker, I want to ask any member here from any sectoral committee whether this paper has been committed to them or to our committee, to our respective sectoral committees. If there is any, I want you, Mr. Speaker, to chase me out of this house. And if not, that paper should not be read in this house because it is not upon and it is not guided in our standing orders, Honourable Speaker. So, Honourable Speaker, I just want to know whether there is anybody from any sectoral committee that have received this. I'm in 3 sectoral committees: environment, agriculture, and finance. We've not seen this paper read before this House, Honourable Speaker. And I'm supposed to be guided according to our standing orders.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Elbagon.
Mr. Speaker, it seems the member is a chronic absentee of this House. Mr. Speaker, and allow me to inform him and to inform the House, because, Mr. Speaker, when you are committing to the committee that you said, you actually put it categorically that is deemed and is put to each and every committee, but each and every member, each and every chairperson, once that your commission has been done, each and every chairperson ought to have called its committee and discuss those issues, so that when you be deliberating on this House, Mr. Speaker, the members will give their input, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I remember, Mr. Speaker, you also put it, and you said that it is deemed to be committed to each and every committee, and each and every member ought to have looked at the details in that fiscal strategy paper. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it will be erroneous and it will be wrong, Mr. Speaker, for the member just to say that it should not be committed to, it should not be tabled, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that is wrong, and that, Mr. Speaker, is taking this House into circles.
Take your seat, Honourable Member for Viwandani, have your seat.
The member ought to be taking us into circles, Mr. Speaker. Traditionally, Mr. Speaker, is also known that once the Speaker pronounces himself, it becomes a business of this House, Mr. Speaker. It becomes a business of each and every chairperson to look at that business and how it is affecting their departments, that is the departments that they represent, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the honourable member, maybe he was not within the House, maybe he was outside, and maybe, Mr. Speaker, he not even follow what you said, Mr. Speaker, and that's why you want us to take us back. And, Mr. Speaker, we do not use the rear, or rather, we don't use side mirrors when you're operating this House. We usually focus on to forward, and our standing we can go ahead with the business, Mr. Speaker, because this business is pegged to the time frames. Whether we discuss or not, Mr. Speaker, it is already known that the guidelines are there in the PFM Act and in the budget cycle. If we are not going to discuss, if we are not going to engage, actually to indulge ourselves into these matters, it will be deemed to have passed. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it will be very retrogressive for a house that has been given that mandate to be looking at what we have been brought by the executive, Mr. Speaker, and we just say it is not to be tabled. If it will not be discussed, it will pass automatically. This is not like a budget.
The member for Viwandani.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I didn't want to stop the member from informing me, but I'm informed already. That is why I'm here, and that's why I've raised on this Standing Order 209. So, Honorable Speaker, I didn't need all that information from Honorable Member from Elbagon. But, Mr. Speaker, I want from our hazard, I be given your communication that the strategic paper be committed to each and every sectoral committee. And I've just asked, all of us here belong to a certain sectoral committee. And Honorable Speaker, I want to bring you to attention on order number 210 on presentation of budget estimate and to committees. Honorable Speaker, I'm not just speaking from
Honorable Member for Viwandani.
Yes.
The standing order that you're referring to.
Yes.
The first one, that 209.
Yes, it's 209.
It's
section 3.
Yeah. So you've just mentioned about 210.
210 also. I will refer.
210 is on another issue, which is the budget estimate.
Exactly. That is why I'm.
And now we are on the County Fiscal Strategy Paper, order number 209.
Why they follow each other, Honorable Speaker, is because concurrently we work together. Honorable Speaker, if the maze cannot read you to come to your seat where you are seated, you cannot, Speaker, we cannot be upstanding. So 209, 210 concurrently works together. So the information from Honorable Member from Elbagon is misreading this House, because I sit in 3 sectoral committees, and I'm saying it as it is, that there has been not any information of the strategic paper. And Mr. Speaker, I'm not here to rubber stamp whatever these people from Budget Committee are doing. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to be very open to you and to honorable members, and I've asked any member from any sectoral committee to stand before this House and tell us that this strategic paper has been given. They have discussed it in their sectoral committees to be read, to be discussed in this floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, what we are doing today, we are going to set the ceilings of this House. Honorable Speaker, we are going to mess with the budget because, and I want you to watch out because you are a member of the Budget Committee. If there is any member who will raise lies to argue, unless those members in Budget Committee, because they know something that is behind the fiscal strategic paper. They know something they have hid. And I want to confirm, if they dare, I'll confirm, Mr. Honorable Speaker. There was a meeting, and I will tell it the House, I will tell the House, there was a meeting on Monday. On Monday, there was a meeting, and all Budget Committee members met to raise the ceiling on development of this assembly from 350 million to 500. Honorable members, I just want you to know this. And what? Wacheni niwaambie kitu kimoja.
Honorable member for Viwandani.
Yes.
Order. That is, have your seat. The honorable member for Hell's Gate, have your seat. The honorable member for Viwandani, have your seat. Have your seat. The point that are raised by the honorable member for Viwandani, the communication that was made by the honorable speaker from the chair was very clear, and you proceeded to indicate and even quote on the Order 209. And when I committed the Fiscal Strategy Paper to the Committee on Budget, I said specifically that it is the work of the chairs, the sectoral chairs, to organize their committees. So the deficiency and the lack of it for the chairs to organize their sectoral committees, then that one cannot be put now as like the misdoing of the budget committee. And so the paper is properly laid before this House, and the fiscal strategy paper, it is properly laid. So the questions that the chair, the member for Viwandani is raising, then those need to be raised to all the chairs of the sectoral committees, but not in this forum, because now that one has been overtaken by events, and it is the work of sectoral chairs. When the standing order say that it is the fiscal strategy paper is deemed that it is committed to all the sectoral committees, it is the work of each and every chairman of every sectoral committee to bring their committees to order and make sure that they look at the fiscal strategy paper. And so, as it is, the paper is properly laid before this House, and it has been committed. And so now the other issues as to how it proceeds then will come after, if they want to discuss, or if it's going to be part of what will come after this, if the business will proceed after this.
So, Honorable Chair, I just want to thank you for the clarity that it is properly laid. But I want to ask you and to guide us on the way forward. Because in the afternoon, and as we are leaving for recess, Honorable Speaker, in the afternoon, we are supposed to discuss this strategic paper in this floor of the House, either or now.
It is...
so, Honorable Chair, if it is...
The member for Viwandani, I haven't seen any intention to discuss that, unless now you allow that the chair brings such an intention. Then the issue that you're raising then will be valid.
Thank you, Chair. The Honorable Member from Elbagon informed the House. Honorable Speaker, with all due respect.
Order, Mheshimiwa. Next order. There is another paper by the Park Committee. The Chair, Park Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Ben Kirui, MCA from Barut. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of Chair PAC Committee, I wish to lay the report of the Committee on PAC on the Auditor General report on the financial year statement of Mirugi Kariuki Sub-County Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022-2023. Mr. Speaker, I wish to lay the report.
Thank you, Honorable Kirui. On behalf of the Chair, Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
There are notices of motion. The first notice motion by the Honorable Chairperson, Committee on Budget and Appropriations.
Honorable Speaker, I am Digol Naburuki, MCA Soinward, Vice Chair, Budget and Appropriation. On behalf of the Chair, give notice of motion. Thank you.
Thank you. The motion is given. The next notice of motion is by the Chairperson, Committee on County Public Accounts and Investments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said, I'm Mheshimiwa Ben Kirui from Barut Ward. I'm here also to give a notice of motion on behalf of the Chair, Public Accounts and Investment Committee, that this House adopt the reports of the Committee on PAC on the Auditor General report on the financial statement of the Mirugi Kariuki Sub-County Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022-2023. I wish to give the notice of motion, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, the Honorable Member for Barut, on behalf of the Chair, Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
There are no statements. Next order.
Order number 8, motion.
There is no motion. Next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, those are the orders of the morning sitting.
You arise. Honorable members, this House is adjourned to today, 2:30 p.m. Thank you.